Some of the favorite outfits that I've recreated has to be the Ariana Grande Grammy dress. And then the next year I did Taylor Swift's Grammy dress. And I did all the embroidery myself. That took well over a month and over a million stitches.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome to Yodoozy Chit Chat. It's great to have you with us today.
It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Official Hambly, your Instagram page has more than 300,000 followers, and your YouTube has close to 500,000 subscribers. Can you share how did it all start for you?
Yeah, it started in the last couple years. I just started sharing all of my work online and it kind of snowballed from there. I used to just sew at home and do things for myself, but I started to share the process online after a friend of mine said, "Why don't you try this app? And why don't you try this?" So then I did, and it got really popular, and the rest is history.
Amazing. And was it Instagram or YouTube for you, like which worked wonders? Did you have a viral movement as well?
I did it. I did have a viral moment, but I didn't have one that really defined it on one channel over the other. Everybody that really saw my viral video of doing Ariana Grande's Grammy dress remake in 2019, they kind of just came at the same time. And then it was like, maybe this has to be a career now. So we tried to grow each channel at the same time. And YouTube grew a little faster than Instagram, but they're both pretty big now. And I'm really excited.
So like to have you with us here and share your journey with us. You have recreated so many popular outfits. Like tell us about some of your favorites.
Some of the favorite outfits that I've recreated has to be the Ariana Grande Grammy dress. And then the next year I did Taylor Swift's Grammy dress. And I did all the embroidery myself. That took well over a month and over a million stitches. It was really fun. And then this year I did um, Dua Lipa's Grammy dress, which was also a fun blast. But I really think that Taylor Swift's Grammy dress was my favorite.
Amazing. How do you pick these dresses? Like how do you pick your next project?
I look for a lot of inspiration before I pick my next project. So if there's like a big event like the Met Gala that's coming up for us, I will usually pick a dress from that. Or if there's no big event, I'll kind of find inspiration in nature or popular films or comics or something.
That's very interesting and quite creative, if we may say so. And talking about creativity, creativity can be a little bit subjective at times. So, if you can share some light on what your creative process is, how do you go about being creative?
Of course. So for me, my creative process is pretty unique. I live in an area that's like really naturey, and I love to go for walks, and I love to be inspired by things around me. I really love like classical music. So when I'm looking for inspiration, I'll put on like a classical soundtrack, and I will think about things that like, what would this look like in a certain time period, and then kind of breathe some life into it. And I'll start with like a sketch, and then I'll look at like fabrics I already have, and I'll just start going from there. Sometimes I have a really clear vision and it's really easy, and other times it's just kind of going with the flow of what we're feeling that day.
That's a cool process to have.
Yeah. It's
I
different.
can already see behind the windows as well. It looks like a very nature friendly place where you are at.
It is. We have tons of beautiful mountains, and it's snowy almost all year round. So we have in down in the valley, we have like our nice summer weather, and then if you want to escape the heat, you just go up into the snow. It's there pretty much all year.
And judging by the amount of creativity that you put out there, I must say, that's like one of the most creative places to be.
Definitely.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about your lifestyle? Do you just love designing the outfits or also wearing them to events, etc.? How does it work for you?
So I am super interested in wearing them to like events. I live in a beautiful nature area, but it's not really an event area. So I'm kind of one of those people that like wear it to go to the grocery store or wear it out and about in town. So I definitely feel like I'm a little bit of an oddball wearing these things out in public, but I really enjoy it. So it is what it is, and people don't seem to mind. So I just kind of go about it and come home.
Absolutely. That's how all creative people are supposed to be, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. If you could wear only one of your created outfits for the rest of your life, every day, which would that be?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I would have to say my tapestry dresses that I make out of paintings, I would wear those every day for the rest of my life and be totally fine with it.
That's cool. Any particular one dress that you would like to mention to our audience that you might have created, people would have seen on your Instagram or YouTube?
I have a really popular dress that I call the Capricorn dress that everybody seems to really love, and it's got scale mail on the neck and it's got the scales on the front. That probably is like my most popular dress. Everybody who sees it automatically knows that's Sarah's, that's from her Instagram, that's from her YouTube. And so that's been really nice because that one is really close to my heart as like a Capricorn myself.
Amazing.
So I just love it, and I'm glad that it's like the most popular one.
That's always a good feeling to have your favorite dress as the most popular one as well.
Exactly.
Have you worn it to your neighborhood grocery store or some place?
I actually had a friend of mine wear it for a photo shoot. She wore it on one of her big, beautiful black horses. She has these big Frisian horses, and she wore it horseback, and it was really beautiful. And I kind of just want to like keep that as a special memory of like, this is what it looks like. This is what it's supposed to look like.
Interesting, interesting. I have seen on your Instagram as well, that a lot of your friends, your family members, etc., try out your collections. Can you tell us a little bit more about, how do these people request you for, their particular outfits, their dresses, and how do you go about, accepting those requests? I must say, being somebody who is as popular as you might get a lot of requests, right?
I do. I get tons of requests daily. I'm very, very picky about doing things. I'll do things for definitely my family. It's very small. There's only three of us, and it's just my mom and my sister. So I'll do things for them all the time. And then I have a really tight circle of friends that I'll do things for. But if it's like someone I don't know and I don't really mesh with, like I'll have conversations with people and see what they're like. And if it's something that's just not going to work for me, I usually don't try to take that request. That is why like I have this clothing line that's coming out where like you can get some of my more popular pieces as like a mass produced piece versus like asking for a custom one. And so that's kind of like where I've been able to offset it. This popularity's really been able to help me grow my own collection and have people attend, like many people basically buy it instead of just doing one-offs for one or two people.
That's a very interesting point that you have made. I would say a lot of influencers on social media want to get into their own product lines, and here you are with us who has already done that. So hats off to you for going through the process and creating your own journey as such. A lot of people, want to get into stitching and making their own outfits. What would be your advice to them? Where should they start? What can they do to, just get started with it?
My advice for people who want to like sew and get into stitching is basically just go for it. A lot of people that I talk to, they say, "Oh, I'm scared to sew a dress," or "Oh, I'm scared to sew an outfit. I only sew my own clothes, or I only sew pillows and things." And they're just scared to try something new. And it's really straightforward once you get the hang of it. And it's not as scary or as frightening as people seem to think. And like everything, you get better with practice. And the more you practice, the better you get. And like, I still make mistakes. I'm not a perfect stitcher. And so it's one of those things that like you have to really remove this fear of doing bad and just kind of let the creativity go. It is what it is. If it comes out great, that is amazing. And if it comes out okay, you're welcome to try it again. It's not one of those things that you like, there's no right or wrong.
Absolutely. And talking about perfection as such, how many hours do you spend perfecting your craft on a weekly basis?
So,
It become more than just a passion now?
it is. It is a full-time job now. I sew well over 40 hours a week, 7 days a week. Sometimes I have breaks. I like to go and like do hikes and stuff and go for lunch with my family, but most of the time I spend in this house and in my studio just sewing away. So it is definitely, I get better the more I do it, and I do it every single day.
Have you started getting bored of it now that it has turned into work?
I have not gotten bored of it. That's the surprising part is I really do get bored of things quickly, and sewing and stitching seems to be one of those things that I just can't seem to shake.
So it's like you found your calling thanks to internet.
Pretty much.
Interesting. Okay, so let's move on to the next segment where we usually do a quick five. Like we'll ask you five questions and you'll try to answer them as quickly as you can. If you're ready, we can start with that.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, perfect. So tell us about five things that you will always have at home.
Ooh, five things. My phone, music, my personal garden, sewing stuff, and I have this grommet press and I can see it through the window. So those are the five things.
Amazing. Five celebrity outfits you absolutely adored.
Ooh, Ariana Grande at the Met Gala, Rihanna at the Met Gala. Ooh. Harry Styles at Cannes Film Festival, Zendaya at Cannes Film Festival, or at Venice Film Festival, and I can only think of four. Can't think of five.
How about Grammys?
How about what?
Uh,
Grammys? Oh, ooh. Taylor Swift at the Grammys. That's five.
yes, absolutely. Five celebrities you would like to dress up in your creations.
Oh, easy. Zendaya, one of the Kardashians, Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, and Ariana Grande.
And I think like you've recreated almost all of their, dresses in your own way as well. So
Pretty
amazing.
much.
Yeah. Five things we'll never find in your wardrobe.
Oh, five. Socks, like tall socks, polka dots, khakis, cargo shorts, and flip flops.
You are more of a dresses person.
I
I
am, definitely.
Five words that define you.
Outgoing, energetic, studious, hardworking, and silly.
Amazing. That was quick, right?
That was.
Sarah, where do you see your content headed in the future? I understand you have your own label now, your own product line. What are your plans with it?
I really hope to grow my product line into doing every more than just dresses and clothing. I'd love to do handbags and like home decor, some things for, bedding, and just kind of grow that. And I hope that that can become like a household brand eventually.
Absolutely. We wish you all the success with that. And before we wrap up our discussion, we'd like to ask you two final questions, not just one.
Mhm.
First one is for all those influencers and startup owners, like who are looking to succeed in life or from internet moving into a product zone, what would be your message for them? And the second question is, what would be your final message to our audience who are inspired by your work?
My message to other influencers would be yourself. People really do want to see who you are and not a manufactured version of you. Definitely you want to just be as honest to yourself and as silly as you want to be. You have to be willing to look goofy on the internet. And if you're willing to look goofy on the internet, then you're going to have a really good time. So that's my advice for them. And the advice for my general audience is be yourself and be goofy. You be willing to look silly on the internet.
So be yourself, be goofy, be ready to be silly on the internet. Point
Yep.
well taken. And on that note, we bring this session of Yodoozy Chit Chat to an end. Thank you for having such a wonderful discussion with us today, Sarah. I'm sure our audience has also found it very engaging.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.